Hi everyone, my name is Robert, and you're watching That's the Movie. So today I'll be reviewing Nebraska. Nebraska is this indie flick that premiered in Cannes. It started a bit of, everyone liked it. They loved it over there. And Cannes, they usually love like all these independent movies. But I like indies, and I wanted to check this one out. And I was able to see it probably about some time ago at a screening in Paramount Studios here in LA. And it was really, really good. To tell you the truth, I really liked this movie. I came out of this movie like, yeah, this was awesome. Like, I went in and I was indifferent. All I had read was the first 3 sentences of the synopsis, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see it. And I didn't see a trailer at all. And I went in there barely knowing what was gonna happen at all. So I enjoyed it. The whole movie was in black and white. That's how independent this movie was. It was in black and white. And I liked it. Really, like, the directing was great. They had some really good visuals going on there. So was the writing. Like, the comedy was just like spot on. It was just sort of this dry humor, and I loved it. And especially, I really liked June Squibb. I'll explain to you who she is in a moment, but she was probably my favorite actress, and her character in the whole movie was my favorite. Like, it was just perfect. She was amazing. But again, this movie is really funny, has a really dry sense of humor, and if you don't like that type of stuff, then I guess you should still check this out, because really, get over yourself. It was a good movie. Anyways, let's get started now with the directing. I mentioned earlier that it was really good, and it was. I keep forgetting the director's name, but it was very good. I really liked it. It was a fun, awesome directing. A lot of indie movies do this thing where they don't use when they want to get a stationary shot, and it was kind of like just a wide shot of it. They don't use a tripod. They just they hold the camera, and it has this sort of feeling where it goes like this, sort of moving side to side, and it's really nice. I always liked that. And then sometimes it looked like they were on a tripod, and it was nice, or probably a Steadicam, whichever. And it was really good. I liked it. I really liked the whole feel of the directing. Now let's get into the writing. The writing, this comedy was just great. Like, everything. I don't know if it was just the actors or delivery, or was it the writing, or was it both put together, that just the acting and the writing came together, and it was just amazing, like spectacular. But it was hilarious. Like, just a really, really funny movie, and also a really deep and touching movie. It told a story about a man and an older man and his son. His son's 30 and he's around probably 70, around there. And the dad, who's played by Bruce Dern, he was an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic, and now at his age, he's already really old. He doesn't drink anymore because his wife doesn't let him, who's played by June Squibb, which is just amazing, by the way. And he's gotten over the alcohol, but it's hurt him so badly that he's not really functioning. He's not all there. He's not how he used to be. I mean, he still understands, but he's not like insane, and he's just not completely there. Like, all of him is not there. It's just his brain has been really just beaten because of the drinking, and then it comes the old age on top of that. So it's really hard. And then his son, played by Will Forte, he's your average 30-something, kind of just isn't a dead-end job. He's like working, selling speakers or something at some electronics store, and he's living in an apartment. His girlfriend just broke up with him, and he's just pretty much alone. And his brother, who's played by Bob Odenkirk, if anybody remembers him, he's in Breaking Bad. He plays Saul Goodman. He is sort of like this good brother. He's like the best one out of the two brothers, him and Will Forte and Bob Odenkirk's character. He's like what's it called? He's a news anchor and everything. He has his own TV show, and they live in Billings. Billings, Montana is a really small town. I've lived there, I've been there before, and it's a very small town. So these two, they're there, and it's pretty easy to just become the most famous person there. And for his older brother, he did it. And he was like a big guy, he's known. He's more of a success than his younger brother, and you can tell that there's kind of like that he's a bit jealous of what his brother's done. But that's not the whole relationship here. The relationship in this movie, what really matters is between the son and the father. And at that age, the son just feels like his dad never did anything for them. He was just a drunk. And the character, for Bruce Dern, his character, he doesn't really say it, express it as much until the end, but he's just a guy who's just felt like he hasn't done enough for his family. And the problem was that when he was younger, he was a very nice person. He was very nice. He would always do favors for everyone. If they'd ask him for a favor, he can't say no. He wouldn't say no. He'd do it for them gladly. If they were asking for money, he'd give them all the money in his pocket. He would go to the bank and take out some money and give it to them. That's how nice a guy this person was. And that affected his family. And affected the guy himself as well, because he didn't do anything for himself. He did everything for everyone else, but not even for his family. He did everything for everyone else. He provided for his family, but he didn't do more than just provide. He just provided. He wasn't really a father. He didn't care for himself either, and he just became an alcoholic. He was always drinking, and that really affected him, and it did terrible things to him. And that's like the whole theme here. So anyways, the story is, okay, that it's a road trip from Billings, Montana to Nebraska. The father, played by Bruce Dern, he gets a sort of like scam in the mail. And it's those things where they send you won $1 million, oh, you won $1,000. If you do this, you subscribe to a 12-month like issue, a year issue of a magazine thing, and you have a chance to win $1 million. But the father didn't read it like that. He thought that he had won $1 million. And then his son tried to convince him, hey, just send in the paper over mail, because that's what it said on the paper. He's like, no, I can't trust the mail with $1 million. So after a few days of finally convincing him, he's convinced, and he takes him to Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. And it's just, the road trip from there to Lincoln, Nebraska. And I recommend this movie. It was really good. I mean, if you're okay with independent movies, if you like them, you can go see this. But even if you're somebody who doesn't like independent movies, feels like they're too pretentious, get off your high horse. This movie is good. Just go watch it. It's really funny, and it has heart to it. It's really good. I really recommend this movie. But anyways, that's the end of my review. And you guys can follow me, on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram at TheRealRobertAH, and as well as Facebook. And you guys can check me out at thesashamarinashow.com under topics, That's the Movie. And well, that kind of wraps this up. Oh, and as well as every Monday I have this sort of radio show type thing that I do with Sasha, my older sister, and I just pretty much just talk about the news, and we kind of talk about movie news. We kind of discuss it there. And I sometimes talk about TV news if it's really worth mentioning, as well as video game news. So, just check those out. There are it's at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's Blog Talk Radio, or you can just check on the Sasha Marina Show website, and you'll find the schedule and what to call or what to listen, where to listen into. Let's do it. It's really good. I enjoy it. I have a fun time doing it every single time. But anyways, watch Nebraska. It's a good movie. And that's the movie. Hi everyone, so today I'll be reviewing Nebraska. Hi everyone. And I felt like, I'm trying to think if there was anything I can see that was bad about this, but I can't. I really liked it. It's just that story about the relationship between the father and the son, played by Will Ford, and I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. I didn't see anything bad with it. It was I liked the movie again. I really liked it. It was a good movie, and I really recommend it.